You spent hours on it, the research, the thinking, getting it right. A solid document, everything in it that someone needs to know. And then you send it and nothing happens. No decision, no action, maybe a thanks, we'll review. And then silence. Here's the hard truth. It's not that your thinking was wrong. It's that nobody actually read it because it was long and it was dense. And the one insight that mattered was buried on page 4. Today I'm going to show you how to take a dense document and turn it into something that lands in seconds, not by dumbing it down, by making the insight impossible to miss. I've spent nearly 30 years in corporate change and transformation, and I have written more reports, assessments, and recommendations that I could ever count. And early on, I made the same mistake most professionals make. I believed that if the work was good enough, people would engage with it. They don't. Not because they don't care, because they're overloaded too. The executive you're sending it to has 40 other things competing for their attention. They don't read, they scan, they decide in seconds whether something is worth their focus. So here's what I've learned. The quality of your thinking gets you halfway. The way you package it gets you the rest. And this is the part most of us were never taught. We were taught to do good work. We were never taught to make good work land. Now there's a second problem. Even when you know the insight needs to stand out, turning a dense document into something visual takes time you don't have. You open PowerPoint. You stare at a blank slide. You start copying text across, reformatting, trying to make it look like something. An hour later, you have 3 slides and you've lost the will to live. So most of us just send the document as is and then we hope. Now that's the real trap. You know it should be visual. You just don't have the hours to make it visual. Now this is exactly where the tool I'm about to show you changes things. The tool is called Claude Design. Let me be honest about what it is before I show you. It's a part of Claude that turns ideas and documents into visual things, slides, one-pages, summaries. You can upload a document and ask it to turn that document into a visual. That's exactly what we're going to do now. 2 honest things first. 1, this is a paid feature. It's not on the free plan. You need a paid Claude subscription to use Claude Design. I always give it to you straight about these things. So if you're on the free plan, this one's a look ahead, not a today. 2, it's still quite new. It's powerful, but it's a preview tool. It's improving fast. I'll show you what it does well, and you decide if it earns a place in how you work. Let me show you. So here's a document I've prepared. It's an AI adoption readiness report. The kind of thing I'd actually produce in my change work. Look at it. 7 sections, survey data, sentiment findings, 5 barriers, 6 recommendations. It's thorough, and it's exactly the kind of document that gets sent to leadership and never read. Because who has the time to read all of that? So I'm going to open Claude Design. It's right here in the sidebar, this palette icon. I'm going to upload my report, and then I'm going to ask it to do something specific. I've uploaded an AI adoption readiness report. Turn it into a single, clean executive summary slide that a busy senior leader could understand in 30 seconds. Surface the most important insight, that the barriers to AI adoption are human and cultural, not technological. Include the key sentiment split, the biggest risk, and the top 3 recommendations. Keep it visual, calm, and professional, not cluttered, not corporate busy. Now look at that. Everything that mattered in that 7-section report. Now on one clean slide, the core insight right at the top. The sentiment split, visual. The biggest risk, clear. The recommendations a leader can actually act on. That took a minute, not an hour in PowerPoint. A minute. And here's the part I want you to notice. I didn't lose the thinking. The depth is still mine. The expertise is still mine. I just stopped letting it get buried. Now, if it's not quite right, I don't start all over again. I just tell it what to change. Make the recommendations stand out more and soften the colors slightly. I talk to it like I'd talk to a designer, and it adjusts. When it's ready, I can export it to PowerPoint, to PDF, to Canva, and use it. One important note that I should bring to your attention. This tool can use up your usage allowance faster than a normal chat. It got better recently. They made it more efficient. But if you're on a paid plan, just be aware designing is more intensive than chatting. So use it where it earns its place. The report that has to land, the summary leadership will actually see. The document that's too important to allow it to be buried. Not everything needs to be a designed slide, but the things that matter, the things you worked hard on, those deserve to be seen. So here's what I want you to take from this. Your good work deserves to land, not get buried on page 4 of a document nobody finished reading. The thinking is yours. The expertise is yours. The tool just makes sure it gets seen. So next time you've got a dense document that really matters, don't just send it and hope. Take the insight that's buried inside it and make it impossible to miss. I've spent nearly 30 years watching brilliant work go unread because it was dense and busy and the person receiving it was overloaded, so they just didn't get to it. It doesn't have to be that way. Your insight is worth surfacing. Your work is worth seeing. Tell me in the comments, do you get stuck consolidating your thoughts into a powerful visual? And do you think this will assist you? And whilst you're at it, share this video with someone who will also benefit from it. Join me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. South African time for the Midweek Reboot Live. New episodes every Monday and Friday. Subscribe so you don't miss them. Make AI work for you. Let your best thinking be seen because, as always, you matter.